Does your furry friend take over your bed every night? It's time to reclaim your space while giving them the comfort they deserve with the coldest, cozy dog bed. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description to buy now on Amazon.
Former Victorian Premier Dan Andrews and his wife, Catherine, have backflipped on their opposition to handing over phone records from the day a cyclist was injured. Ryan Muehlman is suing law firm Slater Gordon, alleging it failed to act in his best interest when negotiating an $80,000 compensation settlement with the Transport Accident Commission. The then-teenage cyclist was injured when he collided with an SUV driven by Mrs. Andrews in January 2013. The case returned before the Supreme Court of Victoria on Monday as the Andrews were expected to fight a subpoena for phone records related to the collision. But Associate Justice Melissa Daly was told an agreement had been reached, with the former premier and his wife set to hand over records from only the day of the crash, January 11. Mr. Muehlman's barrister, James Catlin, said he had expected the hearing to be fiercely contested, but the Andrews had indicated they would no longer fight it at 8:05 a.m. As of 4 p.m. yesterday they were still objecting. "It's only at 8 a.m. today we get correspondence," he said. Mr. Catlin said the Andrews' decision to hire top silk Philip Crutchfield KC sent a message the subpoena hearing was to be fiercely objected. Premier Daniel Andrews' Ford Territory car after the 2013 crash with Ryan Muehlman. Picture supplied. The court was told the subpoena for documents was initially served in February requesting about 11 years of phone records from the Andrews. In subsequent months this time span was reduced, first to 6 months, later to 1 month, before Mr. Muehlman finally sought just the day of the crash. Representing the Andrews, Sebastian Campbell, told Associate Justice Daly it was appropriate for his clients to initially refuse to hand over the documents sought, labeling it oppressive. The documents agreed upon will now have to be supplied to Mr. Muehlman's lawyers by July 25. Associate Justice Daly said it was abundantly clear from the evidence that Monday's hearing was unnecessary, questioning why the Andrews took 2 weeks to confirm they would consent to the revised subpoena. She ordered the Andrews to pay Mr. Muehlman's legal costs relating to Monday's hearing. The judge said it was reasonable for the Andrews to initially object to the subpoena, ordering Mr. Muehlman to pay the costs incurred during negotiations up until June 25. Mr. Muehlman spent 11 days in hospital after the crash and received a compensation payout in 2016. He now alleges Slater and Gordon failed to conduct a full investigation into the circumstances of the crash. Ryan Muehlman after his accident. The then 15-year-old suffered serious injuries. Picture supplied. Mr. Muehlman's father, Peter, hailed the progress as one step in a long battle. Mr. Muehlman alleges the car struck him in Blairgowrie on the Mornington Peninsula just after 1 p.m., while Mr. Andrews has insisted their car was struck by the cyclist. "The cyclist was traveling at speed and hit our car at a perfect right angle very heavily. I want to make it clear, the cyclist hit our vehicle," he told police after the incident. Outside court, Mr. Muehlman's father, Peter, hailed the progress as one step in a long battle. "It's going to be a long road for us, but we're up to the fight and I want to thank everybody who has supported us and believed in us," he said. He said his family was trying to gather as much evidence as they possibly can, believing the initial police investigation failed to properly examine the incident. "It's taken its toll on Ryan and we're trying to protect him as much as we can. Yes, it's an expensive ride and we'll tough it out as long as we can," he said.